And so was the umpire. And that's the end of Allan Border, and Australia 1 for 8.
Hadley to Greg Chappell.
And that's a touch of class.
The crowd very pro-Australian. Love that shot from Greg Chappell. He's been waiting for that one, the one that's slightly over-pitched. Straight out the coaching manual, that front foot right to the pitch of the ball.
McKechnie to Wood.
It's a bad ball. Not what it deserved.
Well, you cannot afford to drop them short on this MCG wicket. Yesterday we saw Chatfield drop one in short to Allan Border and had no problems putting it away.
Another bad ball and 4 more.
Well, this letting the Australians off the hook after a very good start by the New Zealanders. 2 bad deliveries from McKechnie, pitching outside leg stump, just short of a length, far too short in fact.
McKechnie to Greg Chappell.
And that's a great shot off the back foot. There are not too many players in the world that can play that shot with confidence. 3 to Chappell. Another bad ball. He just can't afford to pitch short at slow, medium pace. A master batsman onto the back foot. Pulled it through mid-wicket.
McKechnie in only his second over and 16 runs coming from them. 8 from both overs so far, and that a very easy delivery for Greg Chappell to put away. Short of a length. Greg Chappell just pulling it away just over square leg.
A lot of worries for Howarth now. Doesn't need this at all. Breaking concentration, the young men pitching far too short. Worries for the New Zealand skipper so early in the game. And then a glorious cover drive. 12 runs off the over. Classical stroke making by the Australian skipper.
So that very good pull shot, and McKechnie obviously keen to keep it up, but Greg Chappell seizing upon that over-pitch delivery, and what beautiful placement. When it's over-pitched, it's another matter in putting it away and getting it through the field, and Greg Chappell piercing that offside field to perfection. And a lot of run on that ball. It sped quickly to the boundary.
Martin Snedden to Graham Wood.
Good shot. Well, Wood not being left behind by his captain, getting onto the front foot and driving beautifully through mid-off. The end of the over, 1 for 56.
Cairns to Greg Chappell.
Chappell drives well, finding the gap again. And good slip there by Edgar.
McKechnie to Wood.
That's well run away there, down to 3rd man. It's running away fine, and it might be 4. It's going to be 4. Yes, so a good shot there. That 3rd man, fieldsman, very wide, and Wood playing it away fine. 1 for 7.
McKechnie to Greg Chappell.
Oh, what a great shot, and straight through the extra cover fieldsman there. Greg Chappell hitting that like a tracer bullet. An over-pitch delivery from McKechnie, and that was smashed with all the authority in the world to the boundary.
Once again, McKechnie just straying in length. And, Burgess getting a really tough one to field there. He's fielding in the rough area. And that was really smashed at him by Greg Chappell.
Cairns about to start a new over. Oh, what a beautiful shot. Well, apart from hitting the ball well, Greg Chappell certainly is finding the gaps. That ball slightly over-pitched on leg stump and dispatched to the mid-wicket boundary.
Beautiful stroke. 4 runs for the moment. Greg Chappell started to swing the bat. 100 comes up for Australia. And great batting there. And real pressure being applied now to the New Zealanders. Applause from this big crowd for Graham Wood's 50. He's just beaten Greg Chappell to it.
And that was a very good 50 indeed, off a mere 77 balls in 93 minutes. And I might add, scarcely a false shot in that innings.
And Greg Chappell responds with a single to bring up his own half-century. One for 106. And this magnificent crowd. A standing ovation for Greg Chappell. Chappell in turn is saying to Wood, keep your head down. Vital game this. One of these two teams going to be 2-1 in the lead at the end of today. Cairns to Graham Wood. One of the features of today's batting has been the placement of both men, Wood and Greg Chappell.
Mark Burgess, absolutely outstanding in the field.
Howarth to his opposite number, Greg Chappell. That's not very good bowling, certainly not bowling to his field. One for 130. Lance Cairns now to Greg Chappell, and what was about to happen will live long in New Zealand memories, not to mention the memories of the two umpires. That's between two fielders, is it? What a catch! That is one of the best catches I've ever seen in my life. And Greg Chappell is staying there. The umpires are conferring. Snedden says he caught it. And the umpires have said that's not out. And Howarth is having a word with umpire Cronin.
I would suggest that the umpires didn't see whether that ball carried or not, and Snedden is saying, I caught it. And my word's good enough. Howarth is certainly saying, well, Snedden said he caught it, and he would not say that if he wasn't absolutely sure of it. It's a long way from the umpires. Howarth is not going to let this go too easily.
And there it is, Greg Chappell advancing to Cairns. Field is Snedden racing in. There is no question in my mind that that was a great catch. Clearly caught above the ground. A superb catch. There is no question that that was out. It was a marvellous catch. The man alongside Snedden knew it was caught. That's Burgess. Snedden knew he caught it. And the umpires have said not out. One assumes because they weren't close enough to the happening. That was a magnificent catch, and it goes down as 1 run to Greg Chappell. Mike Burgess there, showing he still has some sense of humour.
Well, the Maoris would have been proud of Burgess there.
Richard Hadley to Graham Wood.
Shot. Wood finding the gap at square leg. Edgar misfields. A little bit of pressure now for the New Zealand fieldsman. His running between the wickets has been excellent. 3 runs.
McKechnie to Wood.
Misfield by Hadley. You see the outfield is rather rough, but a bonus of 2 runs for Graham Wood. Disappointment for the bowler.
McEwen to Wood.
Bowled him. McEwen's broken through, and that's a vital one for the New Zealanders. Just as we were saying how well they were playing and controlling the situation, Wood once again trying to hit over Wong On and paying the penalty.
Well, it has been a problem shot for Wood. On this occasion, he doesn't make contact. It's a bit of a touch on the pads and crashes in the middle and off. And Graham Wood, very fine innings. He's played particularly well. He's been dismissed there, bowled by Paul McEwen. And he's out for 72, and the Australian total, with the second wicket falling, is 153.
McKechnie to Martin Kent.
Kent, glorious cover drive. What a start.
Well, that's a brilliant start to an innings. He won't hit a shot much better than that at any time during his innings. But to get off the mark with a perfect cover drive, great timing, tremendous placement, that will do a lot for the confidence of Martin Kent.
Paul McEwen now, and Greg Chappell's taking strike.
Sit that. It's a big hit. 4 runs. The end of the over. 2 for 172.
McKechnie to Greg Chappell.
Chappell charges, gets it on the up. McEwen. 3 runs to Chappell. The end for McKechnie, his final over. And good running between the wickets.
Snedden now to Greg Chappell. And Martin Snedden would appreciate the delicious irony of this look-alike catch.
Having said that, Keith, my opinion, as Greg Chappell plays one away, and there's another one taken out there. Beautiful catch, and this time Greg Chappell's on his way. What a magnificent catch, almost in the same position as the one caught by Snedden, which was given not out. Edgar coming in, diving, and what a magnificent catch. Well, justice has been done, even though just a little late.
Greg Chappell not going on and getting 100, but what a magnificent catch. Bruce Edgar out in the deep. Similar circumstances to the previous one when he was in the 50s, and very little difference between both catches. And what a great catch by Bruce Edgar out in the deep. Not sliding forward, but rolling over. And a jubilant Bruce Edgar as he holds the ball up and signals the end of Greg Chappell's innings. And he is out for 90. And Australia 3 for 199.
He's hit that. It's gone up high in the air. He might be out. It's going to be difficult to catch. It's dropped right between them. Well, misjudgment there by Howard and Bracewell, and a big mistake there by the New Zealanders. A very frustrating one for Howard. They should have caught that.
Well, they certainly got onto their feet, Tony, but not for the fact that it went for 6, but the placement of Rod Marsh. Should have been a simple catch to someone down there, but obviously no calling by Bracewell or the fellow who was charging across, Captain Jeff Howard, who came across from mid-off. And the ball at the end landing right between the two of them.
Snedden bowls to Martin Kent.
Kent going for a big one. What a great shot down the ground. No, there's someone underneath it. Oh, he's missed it again. Misjudged in the outfield. The ball rolling away, and it's 4. Well, the New Zealanders really slumping under pressure in the outfield. That ball hit high and straight, and should have been out.
Well, perhaps this electric atmosphere coming from the MCG crowd getting under the skins of some of the New Zealanders now. And Martin Kent driving straight. McKechnie looked as though he was underneath it, but then totally misjudged it. Ran in far too far underneath it. And the ball then going into the boundary for 4 runs.
There you go for it again. Snedden to Kent once more. And he's hit that high, and that's going way out down towards mid-wicket, right underneath the nose. Not a set that he's got it. What a fine catch again. Very well judged this time by him, following that great catch taken off Greg Chappell. And that's the end of Martin Kent.
Unusual shot from Martin Kent. In fact, it was well hit. Snedden bowling short, pinged into the outfield from outside off stump by Martin Kent. Another good catch by Bruce Edgar. Judged it perfectly, just down on one knee. And once again, just holding it up. So that's 2 good outfield catches by him. First, that one of Greg Chappell, and secondly, to get rid of Martin Kent. And Australia now 4 for 215.
It's Marsh on strike. Snedden to Marsh. And he's gone for the big one, but not again timing it very well. But it's raced away down towards square leg and well fielded down there. They'll be looking for 3, and Walters turning for the 3rd, and they've made it. Well, Keith, it's going to be interesting to see how Dougie Walters plays this. In my opinion, he's got to have a go at every ball. And that's the end of the over. 4 for 218.
Richard Hadley to Rodney Marsh.
That's in the air, and it's going down towards the 3rd man boundary off the front edge of the bat. And 2 more runs resulting. So Marsh just a little lucky to get away with that, but then again, he's got to go for it.
Well, at this stage of an innings, it doesn't matter how or where they come. And that one getting down off the thick outside edge, down to 3rd man for 2 runs. Not where Rodney Marsh meant it to go, but it doesn't matter. So long as they're coming at this stage of an innings. It's essential for a batsman that contact must be made with that ball. Don't afford to waste one delivery at the stage of an innings.
Another slow one, and again that one deceiving Marsh. Struggling to adjust there to the pace of the ball, and Hadley having a little chat to him there, and of course Marsh offering him the bat. And the little chat continuing. Marsh throwing the ball over the top of his head, and the crowd love it.
Rodney Marsh not impressed there with the antics of Richard Hadley, who ended up throwing the ball down to him and say, well, you have a bowl. And of course, Marshy had shown him the bat and said, well, come and do better. No doubt this afternoon, Richard Hadley will probably have that chance to see if he can do any better than Rodney Marsh is doing at the moment.
The last ball of Hadley's over, and his spell, and that one's hit in the air. It's gone way down towards the deep square leg boundary, and what's more, it's 4, and as Marsh goes past Hadley, just a little word in his ear. What a fine shot that was.
The crowd are ecstatic at that 4 runs from Rod Marsh, and Australia now 4 for 226.
Doug Walters now faces Martin Snedden.
Full toss down the ground, and Walters getting the 1. I think Marsh might keep it on from this field there, a fumble, and allowing Australia to sneak through for 2, and the crowd love it.
Misfield by Paul McEwen. Down a deep mid-on. Should have only been a single, but this is what happens in a final series. The pressure gets to you. And McEwen just coming in, taking the eyes off the ball, perhaps getting a little bit of a bad bounce there. Allowing another single for the Australians.
And they look for 2. Walters coming back. It could be close. Good throw, and it's Walters home. So that ball just a little bit wide there for keeper Smith, and Walters a quick 2.
And the first run running exceptionally fast by Doug Walters. A good throw by Bruce Edgar. He's fielded pretty well in the outfield, but just wide of Ian Smith, and Doug Walters getting through for that 2nd run.
Marsh has the strike now, and just 1 ball to go. And wouldn't the crowd love it if he could hit this into the ground? Big six to round off what has been a marvellous performance by the Australian batsman. 4 for 233, and that's going to take some getting.
Certainly is, Tony, but I think one thing to bear in mind, this wicket's playing pretty well today. A lot better than it did yesterday. A lot of the moisture's gone out of it. Still a fair bit of moisture in the outer amongst that crowd. But the last ball of the Australian innings, and Rod Marsh on strike.
Crowd chancing 6-6-6. Marsh hits it. Going down towards deep mid-wicket. Coming back for the second. And that's what they'll settle for. So 2 to Marsh. And the Australian total 4 for 235. Australian flags waving out there. They're very happy with the way their men have performed. After Greg Chappell won the toss, they really have turned it on. An early setback. The border was out, but Greg Chappell really played superbly.
Great performance that by New Zealand to keep Australia down to 235. I know it's a sizable total, but at one stage I thought the Australians were going to get something around about 260 or 270. Very good innings from Graham Wood. He played well today, and Greg Chappell. And Greg Chappell, I don't think there's much doubt that he was very fortunate when he'd made 58. He then went on after that Snedden catch to reach 90. So New Zealand 236 to win. They opened up with their left-handers, John Wright and Bruce Edgar. Here's Dennis Lilly now in the first over. He's bowling to Wright, and with me in the commentary box is Frank Tyson.
And that's picked up very well. It's down to fine leg. There's a marvellous effort there. It was Wood who made the diving save down at the very fine leg position. And that's the sort of spirit we're going to see all afternoon. It's going to be thrust and counter thrust. And just as the New Zealand batsmen are determined to score as quickly as they can, the Australian fieldsmen will be just as determined to save the runs. And that was a real soccer goalie save from Graham Wood.
Walker to Edgar. Graham Beard, the fielder. Walker to John Wright. Shot. He's improved his fielding a lot. Graham Wood. Close catching and throwing. No wicket for 8.
It was a 4, and that's all that matters from New Zealand's point of view. Slower delivery there from Graham Beard, the off-spinner, and it's driven very firmly. So firmly, in fact, that Beard hasn't got time to get the hands up. And it's straight past him and crashes into the fence for 4. Tremendous shot there from John Wright, and he's really said how he loves to play that straight drive, and that was a tremendous example of it.
When the side's not fielding well, it's something that doesn't give the bowlers a great deal of assistance. It makes it very hard for the captain in field and placings and so on. It's a matter of usually you have patches if you don't feel well. Hopefully it's only for a short period of time, and everybody gets back onto the job fairly quickly.
It's a good shot. Max Walker in his final over, just strained short of a length, and that's a glorious shot off the back foot. You can't see a better shot than that. Edgar off the back foot threw mid on.
Well, that is definitely a touch of class there. A magnificent shot from Bruce Edgar. This ball coming on to him nicely. But the placement there is absolutely marvellous off the back foot. 2 men to beat, and they're not all that far apart. Kim Hughes and Border. And the timing, absolute perfection.
John Wright faces Greg Chappell.
A good shot, great shot. Beautifully placed again into the offside field. That ball drifting away towards the boundary. I don't think it'll quite make it. Trevor Chappell's getting there and skidding away, and the ball into the boundary fence. So 4 runs. Again, good timing. The outfield quicker today than it was yesterday, and a valuable 4 for New Zealand.
And that's the boundary that they needed to keep that scoreboard ticking over again and a bit of momentum back. And John Wright giving himself an ounce of room there and able to pierce that offside field with that very good shot off the back foot.
Good timing there by Right. This one's in the air and he's gone. Yes, he's out. Caught. The big blow there in New Zealand. Right, very upset. Bowing his head. That one hit straight to Martin Kent. And the breakthrough coming for Australia. Crowd showing their appreciation of good, tight, tactical bowling by Greg Chappell.
First blood for Australia in this New Zealand innings. Greg Chappell just picking away this short of a length outside off stump. And Martin Kent taking the catch just above his head and going backwards. Not easy to pick them up in that spot out there. You're looking into that big, vast crowd down at the southern stand. And the end of John Wright. He got New Zealand off to a good start. He's out for 42 and New Zealand 1 for 85.
Greg Chappell to Howarth.
It's a good shot. It's in the air and way over the infield. It's bouncing out towards the boundary. Martin Kent racing after it. They'll probably be able to run 4 here if it doesn't reach the boundary. It hasn't. Kent's onto it. Howarth just a little slow, but Edgar responding well. And the batsman crossed for 4. So I think that reflects how big this field is. It's a big ground, and that one hit right down to the mid-wicket boundary.
Trevor Chappell to New Zealand skipper Howarth.
And I believe there was a little edge there. Chappell's hand going up onto his head, and might have been a difficult one.
Jeff Howarth looking to run it through the slips and get down to find a third man, but making contact. Difficult to see then whether there was an edge to it. There was some sound.
It's well played by Howarth. Beating Chappell, who's fielding at backward point, and on border down there with a good throw. That brings up the 100, and cheers from this huge crowd, and I suspect just the New Zealanders there on their feet. 1 for 101. Eating 236 to win.
Trevor Chappell to Bruce Edgar.
Well, he's got that one away, and it's racing away down to the final leg boundary. It's very quick out there. Martin Kent coming around. He's going to have to dive. He doesn't dive. He gave that away. 4 runs. That certainly got the pressure off them a little bit. Bowling to Edgar. It's in the air and in the square of the wicket, and that's his 50. A very vital 52, and getting 3 for that shot.
Trevor Chappell straying to the leg stump again, and Bruce Edgar taking toll of that and reaches a very good 50. Once again getting New Zealand off to a very good start, he and John Wright. Very formidable duo, those two. And Edgar's 50 runs coming off 88 deliveries in 114 minutes. So just under 2 hours for Bruce Edgar. But now he's got to go right on with the job.
Bowled in. It's well bowled by Beard. That's the one they wanted. And he's done a good job, young Graham Beard, today. And I suspect they're beaten by the change of pace.
I suspect also that ball came in as though it was almost an off-cutter or an off-spinner. Ball very wide of the off stump, and you can see it did grip and come back in between the gate, between bat and pad. So Beard falling back on his second type of bowling, the off-spinner, and claiming the wicket of Lance Cairns, who was in a very dangerous mood. 3 for 136 to score.
Greg Chappell to Mark Burgess.
And he's gone. Well, he wasn't promising today. He just took that off his toes and put it straight to Trevor Chappell at square leg. Burgess paying the price for not getting to the pitch of the ball. And that really is a blow for New Zealand. You can see him whipping that ball off leg stump. And there's Chappell waiting for the catch, which he takes right in front of his eyes. So that is a double blow. Loss of Cairns' wicket, and now Mark Burgess out for 2, and the total 4 for 139.
Greg Chappell bowls to Bruce Edgar. Safely away over point. That split the field well enough to produce possibility of 4. That's well stopped.
Yes, the 4 was saved, and for a moment I thought they were going to run for. Perfectly safe shot. It's over the inner ring of fieldsmen, and away it goes with an amount of slice that would do credit to my golf. Right the way down to deep third man, and this is a pretty good save there by Kent.
Beard to McEwen. It's good. Oh, what a good catch. Graham Wood looked as though he's unsighted momentarily. McEwen's gone. It was a really good hit. And if it had been another couple of yards wider, McEwen would have been safe.
No blame of catching to Paul McEwen here. This is precisely what he had to do. He had to loft the ball. He had to score runs quickly. He just picked the wrong spot, the wrong man, and Wood completed a good catch. Perhaps McEwen could have hit that ball a little bit harder. He really didn't seem to put too much beef into it, and had he done so, he might have even made cleaner contact and sent it over the fence. Here's the stroke again. As you can see, he's not to the pitch of the ball, but that's quite understandable when you're hitting the ball in the air. There's a well-judged catch from Wood. He's off balance slightly to his right. He stumbles in taking the catch. Nonetheless, he's clasped that ball in his left hand, and he's not going to let go of it. 5 for 172.
Trevor Chappell to Bruce Edgar.
That's beaten. Short cover. That's 4 runs. And what a fine hand by Bruce Edgar. Driving beautifully just outside the line of the off stump.
Beard to John Parker.
And that's well placed. Fine shot. They've run through, they come back to 4 if they want it. Parker scampering through, and that's 4 all run. And that's more pressure for the fieldsman.
Trevor Chappell to Bruce Edgar.
And there he goes, well played, Bruce Edgar. What a fine hand, congratulations to him. He's going back for the second and he gets it. Edgar 101. Tremendous innings under pressure. Standing ovation for the little left-hander.
Well, that's a tremendous hand from Bruce Edgar, and that's a great tribute from the Melbourne crowd. They're on their feet, 140 balls in 183 minutes, and that really is a fantastic performance by the little left-hander, and you can't get a better tribute than a 50,000 Melbourne crowd recognising that 100.
Lily to Parker.
Good shot. Man at backward point. 7 balls remaining in this match. Like Dennis Lilly, used the fieldsman. 15 runs required. 7 balls to be bowled. And what pressure it's going to be for Trevor Chappell. 5 wickets in hand, but the balls are important now. What can Parker do with this one? He hits in the air, it's going to fall safe, is it? Trevor Chappell going back, catches it. Could that been the match for Australia? A vital run save, Parker out. A magnificent catch running with the ball by Trevor Chappell. That brings Hadley to the wicket. And what a finish.
Well, Trevor Chappell, his day is not over yet. John Parker skying that one high into the air, going for a big hit. Trevor Chappell takes a well-judged catch, running back over his shoulder. Never easy when you're running the same way as the ball. But he's got the ball in his hand, and he's going to have to bowl the last over. Parker leaves the ground up for 24, and New Zealand are 6 for 221.
Will he be able to perform the miracle New Zealand so badly needs?
Trevor Chappell to the Demon Hadley. 6 balls remaining. Hit that, and he's hit it well. It's going to Max Walker. And that's 4. My, what a start. Wow. 11 required for victory. 5 balls to be bowled.
Well, I would say that Greg Chappell's got to get Max Walker out of that position. That's Hadley's favourite hitting position.
Trevor Chappell. He's getting him out. Oh, well. Dear, oh Oh, dear. There we go. Let's have a look at that on replay.
Well, Richard Hadley, he wouldn't be over-thrilled about that. He's been struggling all season to get an LBW himself. On this occasion, well, I would say that that might have just pitched outside leg stump. Certainly it would have hit the stumps. But I think that Richard Hadley could justifiably feel a little bit annoyed at that decision, particularly with all the troubles that he's had getting an LBW himself. Richard Hadley, LBW to Trevor Chappell for 4. New Zealand 7 for 225.
4 balls remaining. 11 runs required for victory. Possibly the best they could hope for would be a draw, 2 fours and a 2. Smith not a big hitter. And really it's unfortunate that Edgar's not on strike.
Well, I'd have to disagree with Smith not being a big hitter. I saw him hit an awful big 6 off Dennis Lilly at the Sydney Cricket Ground. But it's a very tight situation for him. Young cricketer. International experience, not great. He's up against a bowler who is also not greatly experienced in international cricket.
A lot of pressure out there. Fieldsman everywhere. He's hit it well. Go for 2. And they get it. 3 wickets in hand. Marsh up for the stumping. Or the run through. He's hit that, and that's runs. That's at least 1. He'll probably go for the second and test him out. He's going. He's made it. He's home. What a great effort. Ian Smith, crowd is stunned. Fine running between the wickets. Tremendous courage.
They need 7 off 2 balls, and let's look at a tie. 6 off 2 balls for a tie. 7 off 2 balls for a win to New Zealand.
Trevor Chappell, the bowler. Smith, the batsman. 52,000 people in front of their seats. There you go. Trevor Chappell, short of the length. Trevor Chappell coming on to bowl the last and vital over. Put away for 4, and he's picked up 2 wickets.
Trevor Chappell slamming that one in short of the length. It doesn't bounce very high, and that's what's beaten Ian Smith. The fact that it's kept a little bit low. He was hitting across the line, looking for the big hit over mid-wicket. It's gone underneath his bat and just hit about just under halfway up the stumps. Ian Smith is out, bowled Trevor Chappell for 4. 8 down for 229. And New Zealand's only hope now is a 6 off the last ball for a tie.
Long discussion. Well, it looks to me as if they're going to bowl underarm off the last ball. Rod Marsh is saying no, mate, but I'm sure he's going to bowl an underarm delivery on the last ball and bowl it along the ground and be sure that it has not been hit for 6. The umpires have been told, the batsmen have been told, and this is possibly a little bit disappointing. Let's make sure it is an underarm, but I've got the feeling, as an ex-Victorian skipper, they're going to bowl an underarm. Have you ever believed it? And that's a disappointing finish. Disappointed Brian McKechnie, the crowd boo. And it's all over. After 50 overs, New Zealand 8 for 229. Well, that's disappointing. Bruce Edgar saying, what's going on? But very disappointed, Bruce Edgar. At the moment, Howard coming onto the field.
No wonder the New Zealanders are disappointed, and none of them more disappointed than their skipper, Geoffrey Howard. There he is now, talking with the 2 umpires, umpires Cronin and Weezer, and I know exactly the reason he's out there. He's played his cricket over in the United Kingdom with Surrey for a number of years, and the Benson and Hedges domestic competition there is a series of rules designed to make the game flow freely and to avoid incidents such as the one that happened here today. Now, there is the relevant rule on page 2, and it says that no bowler shall be permitted to bowl underarm, and that's what Geoffrey Howarth is out there talking to them about. It is not in the Australian Benson and Hedges World Series Cup rules because the administrators didn't put it in. I hope they put it in by tomorrow morning, otherwise there'll be a lot of criticism for what was a disgraceful performance out there today. The other thing is that the reason it all happened, in my opinion, is that the captain got his sums wrong. Now, from over number 42, we were saying in the commentary box that he'd made a nonsense of it and that he was going to be in trouble having Lilly bowl the 50th over, which was the ideal thing to do. You must have your best bowler bowl the 50th over. And Lilly, Marsh and Greg Chappell and Hughes were there counting on their fingers trying to work out who should bowl 46, 7, 8, 9 and 50. As it turned out, the sums were done so badly that Trevor Chappell was left to bowl the 50th over.